A Seahawks fan favorite was cut, and a legend could be walking out the door again. Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and we got a couple of big things to talk about when it comes to your Seattle Seahawks. The first thing we'll mention, Nick Bellore being cut. Is it that big of a deal? No, not really, I suppose. I mean, he's been on the team for a long time, been a great piece for you in special teams, great in the locker room, just great guy to have around, right? And fans love him. Unfortunately for him, I think he's one of those guys that was able to stick around in the previous regime because he was that locker room guy. He did know what they wanted, and he was able to, be a leader on that special teams and make sure that people knew what was expected of him, and because he had been around it for so long. Well, today he's cut. We save like $2.85 million, so almost $3 million saved in cap space by making that cut. So I understand. I mean, it's a new regime that's coming in. They're not going to have the same feelings or, be relying on the same people to be leaders. They're going to decide who they want to be leaders for them. And speaking of leaders, Bobby Wagner, captain of your defense, Seattle Seahawk legend, off and on the field. It sounds like, unfortunately, he will no longer be with the team either. I was hoping he was going to be in the type of situation as Tyler Lockett, where they could sign him to one more deal and get him to the end of his career with the Seahawks, but it sounds like it was not meant to be. They are saying that Bobby Wagner is going to test free agency and that it is unlikely that he returns. So you're telling me there's a chance. So I'm still going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that he goes out there and looks, and that he will have the feeling that, what, I don't want to leave Seattle again. I just want to stay in Seattle, and I'm hoping that Seattle will also say, what, we don't want Bobby to leave again. Let's keep Bobby around. And again, that's all going to depend on how much he's asking for, how much the market is going to value him at. That will all be, decided, very soon. I am recording this on Sunday night, and on Monday, we start the legal tampering period, where you can start negotiating contracts with other teams' free agents. So we're gonna find out very soon about the future of both Nick Bellore and Bobby Wagner. I mean, Nick Bellore, they cut him, and they're able to save the full amount. So, do they want to bring him back? Does John Schneider tell Mike McDonald, "Hey, this guy is really good in the locker room. Let's keep him around for now. You can sign him back to another, 1 year deal on a veteran minimum, and be paying him less than half of what you were going to pay him." And then again, outside chance that Bobby Wagner stays. Maybe he doesn't like the new coach. Maybe he doesn't like the new system. But it is said that he does plan on testing free agency, and it is unlikely that he is returning to the Seahawks. So we will keep a close eye on that, and just keep our fingers crossed that maybe at least Bobby, right, can return. But with the move of Nick Bellore being cut, we're at about 55 million in cap space is what is estimated. We still have not gotten the full details of Tyler Lockett's new deal, but we are estimating that we got about $55 million in free agency, and again, that's starting tomorrow. So, we're going to be keeping a close eye because we have our own free agents we need to be looking at. I'm thinking Leonard Williams, Jordan Brooks, and then we have players out in free agency that are going to be targeted. Jadeveon Clowney, everybody knows that. Listen to this podcast. I was saying that the Seahawks should have brought him back last year before the season started. I thought he would have been a great piece and would have been great depth. Didn't work out, and then he tore it up with Baltimore last year. Sounds like he has, he has a good relationship with Mike McDonald, and rumors are that there's a good chance that he will follow Mike McDonald here to back to Seattle now. Also, their major linebacker piece as well, Patrick Queen, could be possible. Geno Stone could be possible. These are players who they are saying who have shown interest in joining Mike McDonald in Seattle. And again, with the moves that the Seahawks have made, we're talking about that being very possible, and those moves being very possible in free agency because we have the available cap to do it. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Patrick Queen, Geno Stone, and Jadeveon Clowney here? Especially, if Bobby is walking, and we are talking about Patrick Queen and Jordan Brooks also re-signing here, them playing side by side. That's going to be, and as long as Jordan Brooks stays healthy, but that's going to be a major improvement in the linebacker room. And again, young at the position now, which you'd like to see. Again, Jadeveon Clowney getting over here would be a great just for the depth. Again, you never know how Nwosu is going to be able to come back from his injury, but the more depth you can have in the trenches, the better, because players are always going to get hurt in those positions. It's brutal to play down there in the trenches, so you got to have as many good players at the position as you can. But there you go. That's going to be this update episode for your Seahawks. Please let me know what you think. Were you a fan favorite, or was Nick Bellore one of your favorites? Are you sad to see him go? Or are you just happy to see the cap space that we got out of that? And then Bobby Wagner leaving, in all likelihood, how does that make you feel? I was really hoping that he'd stay and we could see what he does in Mike McDonald's system and the way he runs it. But sounds like it's not to be. So what do you think of that? Do you think they're making a mistake by letting him go, or did you see, do you see an aging player and you feel like, they're making the right decision and it's time to just go ahead and let him walk? Okay. That's the episode. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, comment. If you're listening on the podcast version, then please follow, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, a written review. That all helps the show grow even more. And that's it. So thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with the sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.